Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with a Pike and shot mod. Now, last one I said was the last one, and before that one I think I said it was the last one as well. But there was a comment, and I know this person has commented quite a few times, and he wanted to see the Principality of Transylvania. So, that's what we're doing right now. Vlad the Impaler versus the Ottoman Empire. So, we got the Principality right ahead of us. Got a few different interesting units. Probably got too many musketeers, but I do really like the smoke. Yeah, black infantry sounds really cool. And we also got some... These dudes definitely look like they could be the guards of a vampire lord. Like, just look at the... Oh, they've got an Ottoman standard bearer. And then we've got the prince himself back here. Yes, let's go ahead and start, shall we? This is the Aosta Valley map. I'm going to start by marching up on the hill. It's going to march forward. As cannons usually don't do too well, I've actually switched to just having howitzers and then 2 batteries of mortars. As the Ottomans have a clear advantage in cavalry, I decided to only field light cavalry for both factions. So I'm only fielding light cavalry, and the Ottomans are only fielding light cavalry, so it should hopefully be quite even. I did have... I mean... it's a bit weak maybe to blame it on the battle being unbalanced, but for the Scottish... When I play this as Scottish versus the English, my pikemen were completely sort of run over by the English ones, so the medium to light, there was not much of a contest, were they? Right. The prince is screwing up. I really just want to march them up like this, just because it will look cool in the end screen, but now the prince has marched in and destroyed the formation. Just in time for the trees, so you can't get a good view of that either. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get rid of their cavalry really early on. Or try to anyways. I should have probably given them mortars as well, just because the AI has a tendency to move their artillery in a really bad position. So it's best if it's just fixed and allow them to fire as much as possible. I can see... There's 2 units of cavalry here. But supposed to have a lot more. I didn't realize I gave them like Polish cavalry. Or some sort of Cossack cavalry possibly. Doesn't really fit the vibe, does it, for an Ottoman army? They're supposed to have 4 though. Are they hiding the rest of the cavalry? Wait, does any of my cavalry dismount? Because that would be pretty interesting to dismount some cavalry. I'm just gonna move into the valley, take up forward positions. Since it's a house, it doesn't actually need to move that far forward. It was really fast as well. We do have quite a bit of Ottomans going here, but I want to lure them into the valley as much as possible. So I think we're gonna move all our cavalry in here. Okay, this formation is completely broken up. It doesn't look cool anymore. Also, maybe I should already now, just for the effect of it, bombard a few houses, break them down, just for it to look cool. We are a vampire after all, so we don't care much for the people that live in this little village. So the cavalry is already firing at each other. This cavalry unit is not in a great position to aid in the musketry, so I'm gonna move them like so. Oh, they're quick. Is it the enemy cavalry? Yes, it is. It's bow cavalry as well. Right, we figured out where those guys are. We're gonna move back, set up position there. Right. Ooh, wait, it's almost like we're firing napalm into the valley. The enemy might have advanced far enough into the valley that it's time for us to switch to actually fire proper shot out of the mortars. We're gonna send the heavy pikes down there. We're gonna send some of the light pikes through here, together with Dracula's guard, as I like to call them. Guess we can send the black... I want to say the black guard, but it's black infantry. Down that road as well. And do I have anything left to send forwards? I don't think so. The general will be sent over here to try and aid in this fight. We'll allow these two to slug it out. And I'll set up the other Carabinier unit to fire into the flank, and then there's the generals coming in to aid in that. That's hopefully going to end up pretty well. We got a fight here, which we don't seem to be winning. But I'm thinking that's going to change as soon as I get my infantry in there. As long as this one holds, I'm sure the fire from the guns... Oh. Cavalry was broken against the Ottomans. Or it isn't really Ottoman cavalry, is it? Some sort of Polish Cossack cavalry. Doesn't say what they're called, so it's pretty hard to figure out. I've ordered my infantry to stream into here. I'm gonna order the pikemen to go for the enemy, while the musketeers are gonna move to the back. For once, I've actually picked a pretty good musketeer unit that has 30 in accuracy. Ordering all the pikemen to strike there. Oh, we're blowing up our own units here. What are we doing? Okay, so the black infantry. Ooh, point blank. It turned into a complete mess, where I blew up my own infantry. But it might turn out pretty well, because it's just Ottoman cannon fodder that we're fighting. So the light pikes should do well against those. Right, have we killed that cavalry yet? No, my pikes never actually dealt with that unit of cavalry. And so they're cutting up my musketeers, which is a shame. Alright, the light pikes will advance and put some distance in between us and the enemy. We're going to have the Dracula's guard set up over there. Alright, we sent away most of their cavalry, but we also lost one of our own unit. So it wasn't too great. The oh, they're attacking again. We're gonna have the blacks move forward soon enough. Right, are the cavalry gone finally? Right, pikes to the front. Let's see if we can. We've got one enemy that we need to meet over there. Get into position quickly. My mortars aren't firing. They should be firing. Pick your targets by yourself. Right, we're holding them off there. The light pikes are fighting. I want to get the black infantry into firing at something else than into our own infantry in the back.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Already? It must be cavalry. Must it? Oh, it's the general. Producing quite a bit of fire here. Okay, we got some kind of enemy over there. I'm gonna move that unit forward. We're gonna get musketeers in between. Got lots of enemies right here. I'm just gonna order them to fire at the ground there. Holding off the enemy here so far. But I want to be able to get the black infantry in there to fire at them. Oh, we actually do have enemies coming in by the flank. And now my general is getting charged by enemy cavalry, so that needs to be dealt with. Are you firing at something? Yeah, I think he's firing at those guys over there. I think we're mostly shooting our own guys in the back. So let's figure out some better positions for the musketeers. And then we're gonna back up this pike unit with a secondary pike unit. Actually move them like that. A second unit like that, and then you will guard in the flank. Black infantry dealing with those. The general and the carbineers can move back. I think we need the general more over here now. The Ottomans are starting to overwhelm this pike formation. I am hoping here that the musketeers will produce enough flanking fire to do some serious damage on these formations. Kind of blowing up our own troops, possibly. Okay, so these are now going forward
Our men are running first.
in a proper attack, leaving the howitzers with no real targets. I could turn them against these guys. Just fire on a house then. Okay, so the pikes are falling back. I'm gonna tell the Dracula's Guard, as I call them, to pull back, keep the gap. Oh, would you look at that? The fire from my flintlock musketeers is devastating the Ottomans. And I'm hoping some really good howitzer shots probably aid in that as well. Right, the Ottomans are streaming forwards here. Could I possibly get... I'm not sure if the howitzer shot is able to get that close. Same with the mortars. We're just going to concentrate all fire over there. Since the fight there is basically won, the general can stay right behind here. Okay, my cavalry on their own charged the enemy. Right, so let's take a look at what's going on here. The Ottomans have actually killed this unit. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to back those up, and then these will be marched to flank what's left of the Ottoman force over there, with the heavy pike to follow them. And the two small heavy pike units will be situated behind the line over here, dealing with that. I think we might have gotten a really nice howitzer shot going in there, and that's what destroyed the Ottoman force. Got the black infantry here. Boom. Getting fired up right in the back by our own howitzers. One shot seemed to have prematurely exploded. Not that I would know anything about that. We're holding on these. What's this? Our cavalry unit. I'll set you up right there. We do have another cavalry unit. I think we're going to move in behind the Ottomans. Well, it looks like the Ottomans will end up on the on the spiky end of a stick, because this battle seems to very much be going my way. I don't like that the my mortar shot seems to be landing. Ooh, that was a nice shot. Now it landed sort of in between here, but I'm sure my more armored soldiers were able to withstand the explosion. Sounds weird to say it like that, but they sort of bypassed this one to get to the black infantry. It's a risk of the black infantry once again getting shot in the back. But I'm gonna move them back. We're producing fire from over here as well. We can end this fight by charging. These are actually out of ammo, and then the pikes will join there to destroy them. That will be good. Oh, you're out of ammo now? Then you can be moved to the rear, and the larger unit of black infantry can be moved forward. Dracula's guard can be moved back. And we can see about maybe I can withdraw these out of the fight just a little bit. Just to open up for the black infantry to be able to fire flank shots into the Barbary pirates. Oof. I don't know, I ordered you to fire on these. It's maybe overkill to fire that kind of shot right now into it. We'll be firing the flame shot overhead, just to have a nice effect on it all. The fighting over here is hopefully working out for me. Looks like it. I think they had one melee unit still left here, yeah. It's making another advance. Over this hellish landscape. Would you look at that? Synchronized, moving forward like that. Pretty darn epic. And it looks like the Ottoman forces are retreating ahead of this attack.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
The enemy general needs to be taken down. It's 36 versus 36. It's an even chance. We're out of ammo for most of our troopers. Flaming shot raining down from the sky. I'm gonna inspire my general and then we're going to charge in. Everyone's kind of out of shot at this point in the battle. I do have the second unit of Dracula's guards. Oh no! We lost one guy just before the charge, as we got hit by our own artillery. But I think that aided by... aided by my Inspire ability, we might pull out victorious out of that. Actually not. I'm kind of losing more men than the enemy general is. Oh, that landed right in the middle of everything. Right, you know what? Continue the fight. Get the pikes in here to kill him.
Sir, your general has been
Damn.
killed. This is a black day.
Well, he was technically already dead, wasn't he? Working from the assumption that he is a vampire. Could very well have been killed by our own artillery. As I'm sure we hit a lot of our own. You know what? Continue the bloody fire. We'll be sending in all our troops to destroy them now. We've got the pikes coming in here. As the pikes are coming in, they're holding on pretty well, though. I guess my formations here. Could be that my formations kind of drop in morale when they're getting friendly fired in their back. The Ottoman artillery seem to have been fired. Oh, did I give them demi-cannons? So they were stuck back here. It meant that they were firing throughout, but I was pretty sure I just gave them the sort of the normal 24 pounder. I'd say that's that. The Ottomans do have their general and cannon left, but the battle is now over. We were victorious, but it was a bloody slaughter. A very bloody slaughter. And there we go! The enemy general has fallen, and we are now victorious. Here's the result of the battle. We deployed 3,100 against 3,600 of the Ottomans, so it's about 500 men difference. I ended up losing 2/3 with 1,900 losses compared to the Ottomans, which lost more or less everything. About 500 of them made it out of the battle. When it comes to my losses compared to what the enemy killed, we can see that there's a discrepancy of almost 400 soldiers. A lot of those shots out of the cannons were friendly fire, as we can see here, while the Ottomans only killed about 100 of their own. In terms of who killed what, ooh, look at that. The mortar batteries killed basically nothing. 18 and 2. I guess they don't count friendly fires. Really surprised here to see. I knew that these flintlock musketeers had a lot of points in accuracy compared to most units in this mod. They had 30 points in accuracy. But I didn't think they were going to end up this high. I'm going to have to check in the replay. Maybe some units retreated through them and they killed a lot in melee. But if they shot all of those, that's pretty darn good in terms of their accuracy. Although they did run out of ammo pretty quick. Then we got, as I call them, the Dracula's Guard, the dismounted cavalry. Did well. Carbineers. One of the light pikemen did pretty well. Then again, he faced like a Muslim mob. I think that's what the unit's called. It was 250 or 300 basically peasants with pitchforks. As we go down, heavy pikemen. I thought the heavy pikemen were going to do more of the heavy lifting. But what it seems to be here is that they just held the enemy in place, while my flintlock musketeers absolutely just shredded the enemy, while the pike held the ground. Black infantry didn't do too well, neither did most of my cavalry, and the mortars did terrible. But I guess the morale shock, most of the morale shock unfortunately, ended up on my own troops. So, even though it just says that they've killed 2 and 18, I imagine you'll have to increase. I mean, that's tenfolds probably what they killed of my own men. closer to 200. Unless I can see the musketmen. If they slayed that many enemies, I'm sure they might have slayed quite a few of my own as well throughout the battle. But there we have that. I don't think there's anything more for me to say, so I'll say as I always say. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this, and hopefully, I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.
Wir sind jetzt in Schussweite, Sir. Sir, your general has been killed. This is a black day.